I want us to ask ourselves, what is that God can use to bless you or to take you to another level? We see it in the book of Exodus chapter 4. The Bible says, God asked Moses, what is that in your hand? And he said, it's a stick. God told him, put it on the ground, and immediately it turned into a snake. So God told him, take it by the tail, and it went back into his stick. Can you see? Like, do you know this stick that Moses had? It was such an amazing stick. God says in the book of Exodus, Moses came out of Egypt with that stick. So for 40 years, the Bible says he was like shepherding the sheep of his father-in-law Jethro using that stick. For him, he thought it was just an ordinary stick because he used to go around and shepherd it with the sheep. But one day, like God, imagine that stick. God used it to do mysterious and wonderful things. You remember when they reached at the Red Sea, God told him, stand still and see what I will do. Imagine God told Moses, stretch your hand towards the sea with that stick of yours. And do you know, God parted the Red Sea using that stick? That's what I'm trying to tell you tonight. Do you know something? That stick symbolizes the small things in our lives, or something amazing, even if it's just small, that God has kept in us. Maybe it's just like you have an amazing voice to sing. Do you know if you just start practicing singing here and there, do you know you can perfect that your talent? Even if it's just like praying, evangelism, like God has given us so many gifts, and we have been gifted so many in different ways. So all you have is discover what you have and utilize it. Just practice it. Within time or within a few months, imagine God will use it and do exceedingly and amazingly what you can't be able to imagine. You remember else when the Israelites came into the desert, like they had no water to drink. Do you know Moses struck that stone and the water came out of it? Can you see how an ordinary stick have been doing amazing and exceeding works? Yeah, that is how your gifts work. That small thing which you normally despise and say, this is my voice, it can never take me to places. But believe you me not, if you just utilize that gift, if you just put more effort and more practice to it, it will take you nations. Because God says, like talents and gifts, they can open doors and they can take you places you never imagine. So let's discover what you have and let's utilize it, and we will come here back with a testimony saying, for real, my talent took me to places, it made me like fulfill God's purpose. Because when God gave you that thing, like that talent or that gift, it is like you to fulfill his purpose. So let's be honest to ourselves. Let's discover what you have, and we'll come here with a testimony. Be blessed. Until next time. Bye.